Hello everyone, this is Mr. Blue Pilot 12 bringing a review to you guys of Nancy Drew Goes to Thornton Hall. For this review, I will be going over the things of the new Nancy Drew game that has just coming out. The things that I will do as positive and negative aspects will count as stars on a rating of 1 to 10 for the game. Alright, let's get started. Nancy Drew Goes to Thornton Hall is about a girl named Jessalyn Thornton that goes missing while spending the night at Thornton Hall a day before her wedding. And Nancy Drew is sent in to go find her and to find out why this ghost is scaring the family away. For one of the Alright, I'll just start off with the positive aspects. One of the positive aspects is that the game has very good graphics. That's something I give Her Interactive full credit for, because that's some of the best graphics I've seen in any video game that I've played. And another positive aspect is good characters. The stories were I would have put this on the negative aspect because I didn't like how the characters treated each other. Like, they were very mean to other characters. They spoke negatively, and they were basically codependent. That's something that I don't like, but I'm still going to give them credit for the good attitudes, the natural of characters. Another positive aspect is the puzzles. It was not too hard like some puzzles I've seen in Nancy Drew games, where they can just drive you insane and drive you up the wall. So it was very simple type puzzles. It wasn't too hard to solve. Well, I was just using a strategy guide, but even if I didn't have a strategy guide, I'm sure the puzzles would have been fine. Another positive aspect was Her Interactive was right when they said that the scary moments would be scariest ever. I mean, I was playing it. I'm a guy, and this scary stuff was scaring the heck out of me. So they did a good job on that. Another positive aspect is the music. To have a good story, you gotta have good music to go along with the setting and to have you in that feeling. So the music they had for Nancy Drew Goes to Thornton Hall was on the money. Because, well, I'm not a fan of horror music or type scary stuff, but it was very good and it kept it to the setting. Alright. Some of the negative aspects was the story. I didn't like the story because it was not believable. It was like you didn't understand it, and it had two different plots running at once, and it was confusing to keep up with what was going on and what are you there for. Yes, you're there to find Jessalyn, but then the plot changes after you find her. Spoiler alert. But hey, that's the cold hard reality. The game's already out, so it doesn't matter. So that was not a very good story plot, and then it just changes, and then first you find Jessalyn, and then you have to find out what happened to Charlotte. But everyone could sort of figure it out that Charlotte was killed in a fire, and that the possibility that she was murdered. Or, but it didn't turn out to be like that. But that's not a very good plot. That's not something that I would recommend for people 10 years and up, because I'm sure adults wouldn't even like that type of story. Anyways, another negative aspect is not a very good setting. It centers around a graveyard, a abandoned place, and the trees are like you don't want to be here, and it's like very dark, and it's sort of like something you don't like to be like you most of the game takes place around a graveyard and a crypt. You have to do puzzles in coffins and stuff like that, and you have to explore ruins of where Charlotte died, and you see the ghost in these areas, and going around Thornton Hall when it's dark, and you see things even when there's light in it. That was not a very good setting because, yeah, I said they have good graphics for the setting, but it was not a very pleasant. I know it's not this is not a type of game to be pleasant, but this is not the right setting for, like, if they were trying to achieve a thriller or horror type or something that was dark, then they did a very good job at that, but I didn't like that at all. Another negative aspect is that this is the wrong type of game for little kids or 10-year-olds or even 15-year-olds or even anyone under 20. This is not a very good game for people under the age of 20, because it had themes that were, I would consider, adult or mature type, even though the plot was not exactly mature. But this, I would not recommend this game for people 20 and under, even though I am 20 and under. And another negative aspect is because of the darkness and the horror type thing. That's not what make the game good, so I don't really like that type of setting. And yes, it gives you a good scare. It's because it's the setting. The reason you get scared in the game is because of the setting. Alright, another negative aspect is not very good awards. You have to do things to earn awards that don't make sense. That's another negative aspect, because you shouldn't have to do things a numerous amount of times to get an award, because no one's going to remember that when you're playing the game. So, overall, my favorite scary Nancy Drew game is Shadow at the Water's Edge. It was a very good scary game. The reason was, it was because it was kept realistic, and it didn't have a darkness type to it. Ghost of Thornton Hall lacked some of these things. Yes, it gave the audience a good scare, but that's because of its setting. Shadow at the Water's Edge didn't need a horror-type setting to give everyone a good scare. That's what made Shadow at the Water's Edge so scary and so great, because it kept it real and it didn't need a dark and violent type setting to give everyone a good scare. So that's why I think Shadow at the Water's Edge is the #1 scariest game. The rating I would give this Ghost of Thornton Hall, out of 10 stars, I would give it about a 5 out of 10 stars. This game was disappointed. It had good graphics, good puzzles, good music, good characters, but it just lacked things like a good story and a very good setting. And they I don't know what kind of audience they were trying to target with this game, but I would not recommend it for people. This is the game that I would consider adults would want to play. Maybe, I'm not sure what kind of people would want to play this game, but I'm the wrong person to want to try to play this game. So, alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Until next time, I will be doing the next games in line, and I hope The Silent Spy is going to be a pretty good game, because this game was just totally disappointing, and I did not like it at all. So, I will see you all next time for The Silent Spy. See you all next time.